and welcome to the Origsburg Area Free Public Library. Today I'm reading one of our new books. Come on into the library, we get lots of new books in all the time. This particular book I'm going to read is called Mother Bruce. It's also a Ezra Jack Keats honor book. Mother Goose or Mother Bruce. And there he is. By Ryan T. Higgins. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. Bruce only liked to eat one thing, eggs. He collected them from all over the forest. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. And there's his basket of eggs. But Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears. Instead, he cooked them on fancy recipes that he found on the internet. One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. First, he caught a few salmons. So when he went out to get the ingredients. First, he caught a few salmons. Then he collected honey from a local beehive. He liked to support local businesses, you see. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. Are those eggs free-range organic, he asks. At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. But the fire in his stove fizzled, so he went out to get some wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. Mama, the little gooselings had hatched. Bruce became the victim of mistaken identity. Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not gooselings. He supposed he could settle for buttered gooselings on toast, but for some reason he lost his appetite. Bruce scooped up the little geese and stopped back to their nest. He says, I will have to ask Mrs. Goose about her return policy. But when he got there, there was a note in the nest that, be back in the spring. Mrs. Goose had flown south early. Bruce left the gooselings there anyway and went back home. There he did, he left them there. But he was followed by the little gooselings. Mama, Mama, they said. Bruce was very stern and said things like, go away, and I am not your mother. And also, I liked you better when you were eggs. Bruce could take it no longer and became extremely grumpy with them. Roar, he says. And the little gooselings didn't know what to do. It didn't work. Gooselings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and a he is a bear. Mama, Mama, they said. They followed him up a tree, followed him in the forest. Bruce was stuck with them, and he tried to make the best of it. Found a little pool for them to swim in. It was hard work. He fed them, and he played with them, and they painted together. Bruce was exhausted. As the seasons passed, Bruce watched the pesky little gooselings grow older. First they were annoying little baby geese, then they were stubborn teenage geese, and then they became boring adult geese. Then one fall afternoon, he saw other goose families flying south. Finally, he could get rid of these geese, and he could take a long winter nap. Bruce explained migration to the geese, but they didn't listen. They were ready for the fall, for the winter. Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative, still trying to teach them how to fly so they could migrate south. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. They boarded a bus and migrated to Miami. Now every winter Bruce and his geese head south together. They laze about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice-cold lemonade, while Bruce dreams of new recipes and recipes that don't hatch. There they are on the beach, lounging around, and up comes a little turtle to one of the gooselings and says, "Mama." So that is the end of Mother Bruce. Thanks for listening, and come back and check us out again.